Good evening, Facebook. Here we are again, day 8 of my Facebook Live 30-day challenge. So, while I wait for Facebook to build my audience, I want to first say thank you to everyone who has been on this journey with me thus far. Again, if you missed any of the videos, you can always go to my my YouTube channel and watch the replays there. So before I get started, hey Miggy, hey cousin Brandon, your girlfriend is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Every time I see you guys pictures, I just smile. And Miggy, the babies are awesome. When I come to California, I want to see you guys. So yeah, before I start with today's topic, which is how not to choke under pressure, I wanted to share a fun fact with you guys about me. So I don't know how many of you know that I used to sing backup backup in a gospel cover band. It was something I always wanted to do. You know how you watch TV and you see people performing? Like, I'm not no singer, okay? I can hold a note. I know how to direct a choir, okay, and make them sound good. But I don't claim to be the singer, but I always wanted to sing backup in a band because I just thought that was awesome. I thought it was cool. So I got my opportunity and I was singing backup for this gospel band. We did a lot of covers. We sang a lot of Thai tribute songs and I don't know who else songs, but it was so much fun. And we sang at different churches, and then we even had our own concert. It was like huge, and we had opening acts, and we had it at this huge church, and it was so many people there. It was like the best thing ever to be on stage singing. You know, we had our little outfits matching and everything, so that was like a really fun time in my life. I don't know that I'd ever do it again because it was a lot of work, rehearsing and learning songs and traveling. And you know, I had the kids with me at that time. They were still living with me, and Jaden was a baby, so it was a lot, you know, trying to transport the kids back and forth because I didn't have a babysitter. So trying to travel and sing and be on stage, and the kids is in the, you know, audience or wherever we were, you know, cutting up, acting up. So that was a lot. So if I was to ever get that kind of opportunity again, then I would, well, now the boys aren't with me and they're older now, but in the event that they were with me or they come back to live with me full time, then I would have to, you know, have a babysitter or something. But again, they're old enough now where they could stay at home. But that was a lot of fun. So if you have the opportunity to do something that you've always wanted to do, like really seize that opportunity. And I'm going to talk about that in detail on another day, but just, you know, think of something, you know, the craziest thing, you know, that you don't think that you could do, and tell somebody, and you don't know, that door might open for you. So let's get started today. So my accountability partner gave me this topic a couple of days ago, and I was like, I don't know, you know, what I'm going to say about this particular subject. So I thought about it, and I thought about what was the one time that I felt a lot of pressure. Love you too, cousin. Have a good one. So I thought about when was one point in my life where I was under a lot of pressure and I had to not choke under pressure. So fellas, this might be a little graphic for you, but I'm just warning you now. Just listen, because there's a point to this story. So when I gave birth to Anthony, my first son, I was in labor all night and most of the day. And so when it came time to start pushing, you know, of course you feel pressure, and the women, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, Meek, you feel pressure from the contractions in your abdominal area. So there's a lot of pressure there. But however, when the baby starts coming out, when the baby's head starts coming out, it burns. Okay, like really, really bad. And they call it the ring of fire because, of course, you know, circular shape down there, and it really burns like you're on fire. Like, it is a feeling that I can't even really describe because it hurts. All I know is that it hurts really bad. So here I am, I'm pushing. And my mom's there, and the doctor's there, nurses there. And they're like, okay, come on, we see the head. You know, keep pushing. So I start pushing. And when that pain, that fire started down below, I was like, oh, heck no. I wasn't ready. They didn't warn me. Like, I didn't have time to prepare for that feeling. So I stopped pushing. So the doctor is screaming, my mom is screaming. They're like, oh my God, why did you stop? You're gonna kill him, you're gonna kill him. So literally I was choking Anthony because I stopped. I clamped down on his neck or head or whatever. I don't know how far he had got out before I stopped pushing. So he, you know, they were like, you're gonna kill him. Like, don't do that. So she pushed him back in, and then said, okay, when the next contraction come, you have to push through the burn. So I'm like, okay, well, y'all should have told me. Now I know, right? So she's like, push through the burn. So I wait a few minutes, contraction comes back. So now I push. So because now I am realizing what I have to go through, and then I changed my focus from the pain into what the end result was going to be, because of course I didn't want to, you know, hurt my child, and I wanted him to come out. So I had to change my focus and focus on what the end was going to be. So when he started coming out again, it didn't hurt as bad. It still hurt, but it wasn't as bad as that first push. So I kept pushing, and he came out, and as soon as his shoulders came out, all the pressure was gone. So in thinking about that story, and in thinking about, you know, how not to choke under pressure, it made me realize how a lot of times we are faced with situations that we are not quite prepared for. We may know a little bit about what's happening. We may know, you know, what it is that we need to do. However, we're not prepared for all of the obstacles that we may be faced in the interim of that situation. So we clam up, or we become frightened, or we become scared. And so we, you know, midway through, we try to change our mind. Now, in this instance, I didn't have a choice. I couldn't change my mind. There was no way I could say, I don't want to do this. Like, that's not possible, right? Because this baby had to come out. And, you know, me clamming up or choking under that pressure could have caused a lot of damage to myself and to my son. So when you think about situations that you're in, and when you think about, you know, the pressure that is surrounding that situation, you have to think about, okay, what is the benefit that I'm going to gain from making it through this? What am I going to receive from not choking? Like, so for me in that situation, it was, you know, to have, you know, a good delivery, and then also to get my baby here in a healthy, like, manner. So same situation as if, let's say you're up for a job, or you are on your job and you have a project that you need to get done, and you have to get it done by a certain time. You cannot choke. You can't, you know, let the circumstances trip you up. You have to, first you need to take a deep breath, and you need to relax as much as possible. And then you need to think about what the end result is going to be. So do you want a good result, or do you want a bad result? It's just simple as that. You can't think like, oh, this is too much, or I can't do this, like, because the more, again, you guys know how I feel about negative talking. So the more you say, I can't, you won't be able to do it. And, you know, if you are able to, you know, get a heads up on a situation, or what the negative things that may be affecting that, cool, take that warning or take that heads up and prepare yourself. You know, again, like I said, I wasn't prepared for that first feeling. It was my first child. I didn't know anything about it. My mother couldn't tell me anything about the ring of fire because she had all of her children through cesarean delivery. So even though she's a nurse and she knows about it, she's never felt that exact pain. She's felt a different type of pain in delivery. So she couldn't really give me all of the information that I needed in order to make it through that situation. So I was pretty much out there on my own. You know, yeah, they instructed me after I almost killed Anthony and snapped his neck in half. But so, you know, I couldn't rely on that. You can't rely on somebody else to give you the information. Like, you have to, you know, sometimes get the information on your own, or be open and be able to switch gears in the middle if you have to, like I had to do. I had to then, you know, psych myself out and say, okay, this is about to hurt. This is about to burn like nobody's business. But if I change my focus and focus on the happy ending that's going to come as a result to this, then I can make it through. And I did. And in the second time I had a natural childbirth with Darion, I didn't feel that pain at all. Why? Because I had prepared myself for it. So I had these couple of years to prepare myself for that same feeling again. I knew it was coming. So then when it happened, it didn't bother me. And so that's, you know, one of the key factors that you need to do. You need to prepare yourself for anything, for any possible thing. You have to be prepared. Okay, so I got a question. Kamika says, what do you do, or how do you prepare for the task or obstacles when others are telling you you can't, or you're not going to? Okay, so here's what I do, because there's been plenty of situations in my life where somebody told me that I couldn't do something. Now, I've always kind of been the rebel. I've always kind of went against the grain, because I've always felt like you can't tell me what to do. You can't. Like, who are you? You know, just like Kamika, I was talking earlier on the bus. No one person has that much power over my life. You don't have that much power over me to tell me that I can't do anything. Like, where do you get that from? I don't understand how you guys allow somebody else to tell you what you cannot do. You know within yourself what you can do. You know, even if it's something that you've never attempted before, if that thought came into your mind, if you said, you know what, I want to start a business, that means already right there, you have the power to do whatever that business is. Now, what you need to do from that point on, because once that idea pops in, now it's on you, right? So then you start lining up the things that you need to get done in order to get this business started. You need to do your research. You need to not get overwhelmed with the process, but you need to know that whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. You may need some help in executing. You may need some help in the research part. You may need to glean some other resources, but still the power lies within you. I can't even imagine living my life under the scope of people telling me what I can and cannot do. Like, that is beyond me. So maybe I'm the wrong person to ask, because I'm going to tell you on every instance, you can do it. That I wish somebody would tell me I can't do something, because for me, I'm going to want to do it that much more, because I want to prove them wrong. And then I want to prove to myself that I can get it done, because who says that we have limits? Okay, let me rephrase that. Yes, we have limits. We have laws, we have rules, we have to follow. I'm not talking about those type of limits. I'm talking about there's no limit to how far you can go in your life. There's no limit to the things that you can accomplish. If you look at, take for instance, all the kids that participate in the Special Olympics. Now, they are limited physically, right, by whatever condition they have, quadriplegic, whatever their situation is, they are limited to some degree by that, right? But they get out there and they compete like they have all their legs, their limbs, their minds, everything, and they compete just like regular people. So if they can go out there and if they can go and compete and win and train and study to the best of their ability with the limits that they do have, how is it that somebody who is fully able to walk, talk, speak, see, hear, all of that, how is it that you feel like you can't do something? How is it that you sit and let somebody tell you that you can't do something? Like, to me, that's dumb. Like, there's no reason that you should put yourself in a box. Because once you put yourself in a box, somebody's going to come along with some packing tape and seal it, and you're going to be locked in that box forever until you figure out a way to get out. My solution to that is don't get in the box. Don't get in the box at all. Stand outside the box and don't put anybody else in the box. We shouldn't have boxes in our lives. There should be no boxes whatsoever. We should be all walking around with the freedom to know that if you say today, just like me, take for instance, Kamika, same thing. Hey, Sandra, we decided that we were going to go to school at these late stages in our lives. After we have children, we're going to go back to school. And we picked one of the most aggressive programs in America. Okay. And so now we said we're going to do this. Obstacles have come. Many things have come in our lives to try to prevent us from completing this process. Now, there have been people that said, why are you going back to school? Or what you doing? Oh, now you changing careers. You doing that now? What you doing now? Okay. And you have the right to feel however you want to feel about what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, this is my life. And I don't want to be one of those people that leave this earth not doing the things that they had a desire to do. I want to go out doing everything that I possibly can. So from this day forward, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do anything. Just like we were watching Love and Basketball the other day, and you know the part where well, I can't think of the child's name anyway. When he was a little boy, when Omar Epps' character was a little boy, and he said he can't do it, and his dad says, what did I tell you about that word? And he says, you don't say can't. And he said, because when you say can't, you're not a man. Okay, same thing goes for a woman. When you say can't, you're not a man or a woman. You don't know who says that. What grown man or woman says that I can't do something? No, yes, you can. Can you walk? Can you talk? Can you see? If you can do all of those things, then you can do something else. There's no reason. Even people say, oh, I can't do this because I don't have enough money. Child, if y'all knew half of the things that I did with no money in my pocket, you would be completely surprised. Okay, I have done so many things. I have went places with no money in my pocket. I remember when I went to grad night. And if you don't know what grad night is, I don't know if they still have that nowadays. But back when I graduated from high school, we had grad night. We had a 3-day, 3-night, 4-night trip, something like that anyway, to Los Angeles. I went to grad night because my mom did not have the money to send me to grad night. My dad was supposed to pay. He was on his little power trip and didn't pay for it. So my mama let a bill go in order for me to go to grad night. The money that I was making from my part-time job, I used that money to buy me some little outfits or whatever so I could be cute while I was going to grad night. I went to grad night with $75 in my pocket. Now, mind you, we're going to Disneyland, Knoxbury Farm, Raging Waters. We went to Wild Bill's restaurant. We went a couple of other places. Okay, so for this whole weekend trip, all I had was $75 to my name. Now, some of the other students that I went to school with at that time, they went down there with a few $100s in their pocket, but I didn't. Nobody knew how much money I had while we were on that trip. But when I tell you I had the best time in my life, I had the best time because I didn't let that little small thing get me down. I didn't choke under pressure. Like, that's a lot of pressure as a teenager to be the only one there, you know what I'm saying? Or at least you feel like you're the only one there that don't have as much money as your friends. And they, we were going to the little shops and stuff like that. And, I would pick up a little trinket here and there, I'd act like I didn't like nothing in the store, you know what I'm saying? So that I could, save face, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't let it bother me. I didn't, let my misfortune turn my trip into a bad trip. So, you have to learn how to take those bad situations and take whatever it is that you're facing and try to find the good in it. Because one thing about life that's for certain is that we are going to come against obstacles all the time. There's going to be pressure around us all the time. But the way that you succeed is in how you deal with it. So if you approach it already with a defeatist attitude, then you're not going to win. You're not going to be successful in that manner. But if you go into it already victorious, and if you go into it with the mindset that says, I am going to get this done, I'm going to make this happen, then no matter what you go through in the process, you're still going to make it happen. Hold on. Hey, cousin. Oh, cousin, I can't make the trip because I was going to come to California December 9th, but because of my externship, I cannot leave here until around the 15th or the 16th. So if you want to push the trip back until that weekend and buy my ticket for then, I will gladly come to Vegas and hang out with y'all. So do some rearranging, because I can't leave because my externship is technically like a class, so I can't leave school for that time. So rework it out and then call me later and we'll figure it out. But yeah, so back to what I was saying. I know it's a weekend, fool, but I can't, okay? Because I'm already my connection messed up. I know it's a weekend, cousin, but I can't. The time, it just won't work. Anyways, this fool talking about call in sick. He tripping, okay? I don't call in sick, okay? That's a lie. I don't lie. I'm not calling in sick, okay? You're not gonna put me under that kind of pressure. I gave you my options, so you figure it out. So yeah. Anyway, so I don't want you guys to choke under pressure, okay? Do not. So what are we going to do when we're faced with an obstacle? We're going to first take a deep breath, and we are going to evaluate the entire situation. Then we're going to see if we need to request help in order to get it done and help us get through it a little bit easier. We're going to do research on what our options are, and then we're going to execute. And we're going to execute in a positive mindset, and we're going to work that thing through until it gets done. All right? So no more choking under pressure. No more allowing other people to tell you that you cannot do something. Okay? Like my cousin is trying to tell me that I cannot go to school so I can come and hang out with them in Vegas. Not happening, okay? That's the type of pressure I don't need. I'm going to go to school, or work, rather, my externship, and then I'm going to get to Cali when I am able to do it free and clear. See how I just handled that? I'm not going to get upset about it. My cousin is not going to be upset about me not coming, because he's going to either figure out a way for me to get there, or he's just going to see me when I get to Cali on the time that I can come, right? Simple solutions. You don't have to be angry about things. You don't have to get yourself all worked up. You don't have to add any pressure or stress to your life trying to get through a certain situation. All right. So you guys, remember what I said, put it to use. Make sure you take that 30 seconds of your day to laugh, because it'll get your endorphins going and it'll cleanse you out and get you ready to face whatever that thing is. All right. So make sure that what did he say? Make sure that you all are I think he just made me lose my train of thought. This fool still comment, talk about I can come, it's a free trip. Let me switch the subject here, okay? My cousin is a very persistent man. You know why? That's why he's a top salesman of the year every year at his job, slanging cars, and he do a lot of his business via Facebook, okay? And so you see he's using his salesman tactic on me right now, but it ain't working. I ain't buying. I don't got no good credit. I don't got no dollar down payment. I don't got nothing, okay? I'm not coming. I don't care if it is free. I'm not leaving school to come down there for the weekend and then fly back and then go back to California. Are you gonna buy my ticket to come to Vegas that weekend? Because if you buy my plane ticket to come to Vegas, I'll see what I can do. I'm not gonna have no homework, fool, but I can't leave the externship. That's great. So anyway, this is your girl T Renee. I'm a mom, I'm an author, I'm a chef, I'm an editor. I'm an all-around crazy girl, and I am a free thinker, okay? I don't allow anyone to switch my mind. I will research your opinion, and I will take it into consideration, but at the end of the day, I choose my life, I choose my destiny, I choose how I feel, and I want you to do the same. Don't just think because, you know, I'm saying these words to you that you have to believe everything that I'm saying. I want you to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I want you to research it, and I want you to see if it applies to you and your life. As always, I'm always here if you need anything, any help, any advice, maybe even have a few dollars for you if I have it. Anyways, this is your girl T Renee. We are gonna be live for the next 22 days. Now, don't forget, tomorrow I will be on Periscope at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my first Freedom Friday segment. So join me there, and we will have some fun. And what else am I forgetting? I think that's it. So I'll put the link to my YouTube channel in the comments of this video when I'm done. And again, if there's anything that you guys would like for me to discuss, or you have any questions, always feel free to inbox me or comment on any of the videos while I am live. It is always a pleasure to talk and share with you. I am signing off now. I'm gonna call my crazy cousin and work out this Vegas trip. Talk to you guys later. Have a good evening.